everybody. Welcome to Spotlight on Middle Country. My name is Lenore Paprocki, and I'm the president of the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Alex Blend from the Miller Business Center at the Middle Country Public Library.
We're happy to be here again with you today. Spotlight on Middle Country is a collaborative between the Miller Business Center and the Middle Country Chamber of Commerce. And what we try to do here is to spotlight different businesses in our community, as well as some different types of people you may not normally meet, or maybe you know them, you know their business, but you don't really know that much about them. So here on Spotlight, you get to know a little bit more about the people in our community. And today, we're very excited to have the executive director of the Soundview Pregnancy Services with us, Doreen Jansson. Doreen, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's really a privilege to be here.
Welcome. Yes, we're very happy to have you, and welcome. It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Doreen, normally what we do is we start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are today. So you can give us a little synopsis of you and your background and how you got to become the executive director of Soundview Pregnancy.
Yeah, that is quite a story. But,
well, we only have a handful of minutes.
Well, quite frankly, I fell in love with this organization over 20 years ago and started to volunteer for them. This organization used to be known as the Care Center at one time, and they had a little tiny office in Islandia. And the purpose of this organization was to help women who found themselves in an unplanned pregnancy and not really quite sure what to do. And so we would provide the resources for them to be able to, equip them for motherhood and for parenthood. And I just remember when I had first heard about this organization, I thought how wonderful it was that, for women in such sometimes it's a crisis when they find themselves to be pregnant and they don't have the support or the resources, that it might lead them to make a decision that they don't want to make about their pregnancy, but had they just had the support in place, that they would be able to go on with their pregnancy and feel empowered that they could do this, that they could have their babies, they could be a mom, they could go to school, they could continue on with their life, but they just needed some support behind them. And I just thought it was such a wonderful organization. So I started volunteering for them way back, but in the 90s. And over the years, I, was in and out of the organization in various capacities. But in 2011, they were looking for an executive director. And I had been a business owner myself. I ran a medical transcription business. I had women working for me from home so that they could be home with their children. And it was a wonderful business. But I felt that the skills that I was learning as a business owner and also working in a medical field and also working within the Christian community, because I attended a Christian church at the time and actually was on staff with them for a bit, gave me a lot of the tools and the resources that this organization needed to run this type of organization. And I could go into more about what exactly we do, but for me, it just really started with a love for supporting women and helping women in our community, and also with a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, and put that together, and here I am.
Very good.
10 years. I've been the executive director here for 10 years now, and it's been an amazing journey to see where this organization has grown to. It's been exciting.
Right, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Like you mentioned, you are a free resource to the community. So what kind of what are the different things that services that Soundview provides?
Yes, we like to surround women with just a multitude of resources in that moment that she's coming in. So the first thing that she needs is medical services. She needs to have a pregnancy test to confirm her pregnancy. And if she is in fact pregnant, she can then have a sonogram. And we have a medical director who's an OBGYN physician we have nurses, we have physician's assistants on staff, as well as a social worker who can actually work with this woman from a very professional medical point of view and provide her with all of the information that she needs to be where she is in her, in what stage of pregnancy that she's in. And that's just such an exciting moment when the young girls come in and they get to see, their babies that they can't even imagine that at only 12 or 13 weeks, she's barely knows that she's pregnant, and yet you can look on the screen and you can see a baby that's basically fully formed at that age, and their eyes light up and they're just amazed. And it's at that moment that these young girls really connect with that baby, because now this is real, this is a real person, this is a baby, this is my baby. And so sometimes there's joy and sometimes there's a lot of fear, because how am I going to do this, and I don't have a support person with me. So what we do then is, after the medical services, she then is, if she wants to continue on with her pregnancy and with our organization, she's assigned a client advocate. That client advocate is that mentor that will stay with her throughout her entire pregnancy and then up until 2 years after the baby is born, with tons of resources from practical material assistance, diapers, wipes, formula. We hold baby showers for these girls. During COVID, we had drive-by baby showers.
That's awesome.
Walmart was wiped out of their diapers on the shelves.
Yes.
We were there and we were delivering packages all over to these girls' houses, to their front doors. So there's the practical assistance, but there's also the emotional support. A lot of times, these young girls don't have an emotional support system to help them process this change that's going on in their life, whether it's even just their physical changes or maybe their relationship changes. Maybe the boyfriend said, I don't want to have any part of this, and he leaves her, and now she's left and she feels abandoned, and there's an emotional component to it. So it's a medical, social, and also educational. We have nurse-led educational programs, from breastfeeding to newborn care, to postpartum depression. We have a lot of topics that our nurses are fully trained and equipped to teach young women and men. We have a men's mentoring program for men who are, they're like a deer in the headlights also, with this new, pregnancy and this new life that they're stepping into unprepared. And so we have a team of men who surround these young guys, and they help them to create a plan. Maybe they need to find a job. Maybe they need their own mentoring from a background that they may be coming from, that maybe they didn't have good role models, and so on. So we really just surround these couples. Our goal really is to strengthen the family. We really want to instill healthy relationships, healthy boundaries in their life, give them a good start, so that they're not just going into the world now with a child ill-equipped and unprepared. And we offer all of these services at no cost.
Are free, right? They're free for everybody. You know what I love the most out of everything you just said to me, Doreen, is that I have heard that Soundview Pregnancy Services does go, if the client so desires, to go up to 2 years. One of the things I loved about that is that I don't know how many times, I'm one of them. I had my daughter pretty late in life, and my mom and dad, they lived in California at the time, and my mom came out for the birth, and then like 3 days later, my daughter was very late. She didn't want to come out. And then 3 days later, she packed up and she left, and I cried. And I'm like, you can't leave me with a newborn baby. I don't know what to do. And I was so scared. And I had, at that point, thank God, had a decent relationship with my extended family, with my mother-in-law. And so when I was overwhelmed, I had somebody to call, as opposed to 3,000 miles away, my mother, who, don't get me wrong, I still called her. But it was very, very difficult for someone who really didn't grow up around babies. I really, I did some babysitting when I was, 13 and 12, but, now I'm 37 having a kid, and I don't remember nothing, you know, so it was really very, very difficult. And when you said that, I went, geez, that's exactly what I needed.
We all do.
And I wouldn't have been necessarily one of those people who would have sought out Soundview pregnancy. So I guess with that being said, my question to you is can someone come? They don't have to come from the very beginning of the pregnancy, right? They can come into your program anytime. Is that correct?
They can. If they really need the support services that we provide, we welcome them to come. If there's somebody out there who needs help, who needs support, needs guidance, needs a support system, we want to be there for them. We have wonderful volunteers who are client advocates who are fully trained and equipped to do this kind of work and this kind of coaching and mentoring. We just hired another director of client services who is just this gentle, spirited woman who just, she's like a grandma that just, she just wants to hug them all.
Right.
And sometimes it's just really love.
That's what they need sometimes, right?
Yeah.
They need love, and they just need to know that they're going to be okay, and we're here to help you, and we love you. And it's such a joy to see the impact that this just loving these girls and supporting them can have, not only on their lives but on their child's life. That we're setting up for the next generation here, and if you can set a girl up and a guy up with a good start, there is a much better chance that that child is going to grow up in a healthier home.
Sure.
And that's what we want to see in our community. I mean, this is a way that we are strengthening not only this girl, but perhaps a little family that's just getting started, and then they become more solid in their lives, go to get jobs and go on with their lives, and aren't making foolish decisions along the way and struggling. And even in the best of circumstances, like you and I had a similar situation where I had no support people around me. I was happy to be pregnant. I was happy to have my daughter, but I was living in California and my whole family was here in New York.
Yeah, so opposite.
Exactly. So we can be that for that segment of our population. We are there for them. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I did not know that about Soundview, that you guys had such a great support system and had mentors for and even for the guys or the men in the situation. That's wonderful. How would somebody get involved if they wanted to be a mentor, if they wanted to get involved with Soundview? Is there a way?
Yeah, we have a website.
Okay.
It's very old, so we're actually right now in the process of building a new website. But just to give you an answer for that question, it's a good question. You would contact our office and just, contact us and say, I would really love to volunteer, and we would get you a volunteer application packet. We do go through a pretty lengthy process, nothing to be scared about, but we want to do our due diligence and make sure that we're bringing people into our organization that have healthy mindsets, that are going to be, able to do this kind of work, because we're dealing with people's lives and people's emotions, and we want to make sure that we have the right people on staff. So you would fill out an application, you would come in and you talk with us. We love giving tours of our center. If there's anyone who ever wants to just come in to the center right here in Center Reach, we're right down the block from the Middle Country Library.
That's right. Yeah.
We welcome that. So we would love to have you come and take a look around, and we could show you everything that we're doing. And and then you want to join our team, we'll welcome you on, and we'll provide the training for you to be able to be successful.
Wow, that's amazing. It really is terrific. And like you said, the support system that you guys create, and you're really thinking about creating a foundation for this new family and thinking about their future in mind.
Yes.
Even before the pregnancy even happens, you're setting them up for success, and that's such a wonderful thing to have in the community.
Thank you.
Yeah, Doreen, I have one other question, as you're speaking, is how do you, besides, you guys have been a part of our chamber, the Middle Country Chamber, for a number of years. We all know Julie, she
Yeah.
stands up and represents Soundview Pregnancy Services amazingly. Everybody knows Julie. And, but what kind of outreach program do you have to let the community know that your services are available and that they are free of charge?
It's a good question.
That is
Great
a
question.
And that has been honestly a challenge in a lot of for a lot of reasons. But we, before COVID, of course, everything is before COVID, but we had really started building up our community outreach presence. Let's just say we would attend health fairs on college campuses. We would go to street fairs in certain communities, where we really believe that there would be a high population of families that might need our services or girls that might need our services. So I do a lot of speaking. I speak in churches quite a bit. I'm willing to really go and present who we are pretty much to just about anybody, because I believe that everybody at some point would need these kinds of services or
Sure.
know somebody who would need these kinds of services. So we've really tried to get out in the community and be a part of the community. But now in this last year, we really haven't had many of those opportunities. So this is wonderful. So I really appreciate
Oh, you're very welcome.
inviting us to be a part of it. But we have an online presence. Of course, we do a lot of social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. I'm building out a website. We're going to be building out some educational resources to put on our website. I'm going to be writing blogs. I would like to I've started and stopped a few times. Going to do it this time, podcast where, we're putting out content about issues that surround family and crisis pregnancy.
Perfect.
And what all of that entails, and just try to have a dialogue about what some of these issues are, because, in our society, in our culture today, we have a lot of yelling and screaming between the pro-life and the pro-choice movements. And it really isn't about that. It's just really about supporting people who do want to have family and want to do it in a healthy way. And like you said, Alex, set them up for success.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
So how would people reach out to you, Doreen? You said you have a website. You want them to reach out. I mean, there's a phone number I'm sure they can call. Can they email you? I know Julie always gives out her email everywhere she goes. What would be the best way, and how many other ways can we reach out to you?
Okay, well, you can reach out to me. You can email me. I'm at Doreen@soundviewpregnancy.com. or Julie, which is Julie@soundviewpregnancy.com.
Nice and easy.
Yes. Our phone number is 631-676-7990. Or you could also go to our website, which is www.friendsofsoundview.org.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
All right.
Very good. Well, I really appreciate your time today and learned a lot. Love to learn. And that offer that you put out there come by and have a tour. I'm sure still under COVID a little bit here.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed that we're out on the other end soon.
Yes.
But in any case, I would think you'd tell people, please make arrangements to come so you're prepared. We shouldn't just necessarily show up. However, I would be very interested in seeing your whole facility. It's something that I have not done yet as the president, and I would love to do that. And maybe even for that matter, we could make it a little road trip, like a field trip, a small field trip for some of the chamber members, just to see. I think the more people that come through your facility, the more people will be out there talking about your facility and all that you can offer. So I would be happy to help you do that.
That would be great. As I'm thinking, I hear Julie's voice in the back of my head. Talk about the Walk for Life. Talk about the
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll be laughing when she watches this. She's our director of development, and she's very good at what she does.
She's very good.
She really is. But I do want to mention that we do have a Walk for Life coming up in May. So if anybody would be interested in participating in that, we are completely a nonprofit organization. We are totally reliant on donor support. And so if there are people out there in this community who didn't know Soundview even existed and likes the kind of work that we're doing and would like to support this kind of work, that is one easy way that you could get involved by joining our Walk for Life, which is May 15th, and it'll be right in Suffolk County at Blydenburg Park. So we can get more information out there for that. So thank you for allowing me to make that little plug. Julie will be very happy.
Terrific. The
Absolutely.
Chamber would be happy to help you promote it as well. So
Great.
this will get the word out for you, so for sure. So very good.
Thanks.
I mean, I can't wait to share this this video with you know, the people on our different platforms and everything, because this is, I too learned so much from just this interview with you about how much support Soundview really has for the community, and this was just a really good learning experience. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So very good. Well, thank you so much, Doreen. Alex, as always, thank you for being my co-host. And today I'm hoping you out there have learned quite a bit about Soundview Pregnancy Services, located right in Center Reach, right up the road, as Doreen said, from the library. What's the address?
1919 Middle Country Road.
1919 Middle Country Road. You're never going to forget that again. And we learned a lot about Soundview Pregnancy Services. It's something that's right in our own backyard. Maybe many of you haven't heard about before. I hope you share this video with everybody and get the word out. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Spotlight on Middle Country. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.